use me and that I could help. And really, that's really the only reason that anyone should run for office. And I'm going to be looking for that person, rest assured, after I leave council, after I leave here today, that there's got to be a calling and you have to have some time and talent to put towards that. So with support of my family, Betty and Joe, my parents are here, and Paula and James and Chrissy, and a lot of my friends that are over here. But what's really interesting about this road traveled is every person that is here right now, I didn't know before I got on council. These people became my family. That's the family I had that talked me into this. So we were off on the journey. The next 2 years were the most remarkable 2 years of my life. It was the most challenging. Our city, and I knew they were in trouble, but you don't know until you get there. We had the largest budget deficit in our history. We were in the midst of one of the largest droughts that we had ever had. We had an absolute stalemate on something that I called analysis paralysis, on significant projects that were just sitting in the back of the city manager's room with nothing really going on. So there were a lot of significant challenges, not the least of which our mayor, Cafagna, who endorsed me 2 weeks into my campaign. I started walking precincts on January 25th, and I stopped. My last precinct I walked with Chris up this street here. On November 3rd, I walked for 11 straight months. And we were attacked by dogs up here, so that was the last day. And we ran to the hamburger factory out of here, and Chris said, "That's it. You should know by now if you're going to win or not." But I digress. But Mayor Cafagna took this Democrat, although it's a non-partisan race, and I certainly don't fit the typical mode of a Republican or a Democrat, but he trusted me, and he believed in me, and which was extraordinary because he had never met me before. And Bob Emery had never met me before, and he trusted and believed in me. So I got elected the first of 3 times, and then within a month, I got information that confirmed that the mayor was dying of cancer, and he was going to leave us. That Bob Emery had retired after 25 years. That we had an embattled council member within 1 year who was under criminal investigation, leading to a recall campaign, which required an appointment of a mayor and an appointment of a council member, and there were a lot of moving parts, and I was in a very good point in my career to dedicate many, many, many hours. But while that's going on, I meet these folks. 11-11-11, Don Stonecipher just burned that into my brain. That's when Veterans Day is, right? It's pretty simple, he says, even for me, a lawyer. And so I went to my first Veterans Day event where I met many of these folks. I remember Dick Smith specifically. And it was at the Creekside Shopping Center between the Ben & Jerry's and the Chipotle's. Right. And there was a cardboard podium, and they had a little bell they were ringing and talking. And I went from there to the VFW where I met Don Stonecipher for the first time. Grabbed a beer and said, "Don, we have to be able to do better for our veterans than having Veterans Day next to Chipotle's and Ben & Jerry's in a parking lot where the movie theater is." And with that, Don Stonecipher gets everybody's attention, and he goes, "Hey everybody, we have another bullshitting politician who's telling us he's going to build us a veterans park." And Dick Smith wasn't far behind him. 10 months later, 10 months from that day, and I remember many of the people that are here, and some folks that didn't live long enough to see this park. We had 6 chairs lined up in an asphalt lot, much like the lot over there looks like. We all grabbed a hand of rocks, and I said, "This is we're going to turn this into something that's going to honor our veterans, and we're not just going to have the city pay the bill. We're going to raise funds." So in 10 months, we designed, built, raised over $100,000, and created this, which most people would believe, and I believe, is the most honorable veteran parks I've ever seen. This is all in the first 2 years as things were going on. And I thank all the veterans that are here today from the bottom of my heart for believing in me. I believed in you, and we got it done. I'm very proud of that.
Yep.
I'll always
Thank
be
you,
proud.
Jim.
So then there was millions of dollars, I found out, not being used by the city that were supposed to be going to sports